AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
Looking for these better days.
It is Tuesday, October 28th. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's what you need to know to make today a better day. The longest World Series game in history. Nearly 7 hours last night. The Dodgers...
Of commercial-free football.
Yeah, literally, the length of a red zone day on a Sunday is what happened as the Dodgers beat the Blue Jays 6-5, a bottom of the 18th walk-off solo home run by Freddie Freeman. Mackenzie Rivers, you heard the voice there. He is with me here on this episode of Better Day, presented by FanDuel. Mackenzie, I was going delirious like last night watching the game unfold. First off, there's so many things to dissect. You had the incredible relief appearance from Will Keim pitching multiple innings in relief. In fact, they mentioned it on the broadcast last night, and Joe Davis, and I thought they did a great job. Him and Smoltz. Will Keim pitched more innings, like nearly double the innings he had ever pitched before in an outing. And he was great for the Dodgers in relief. They were warming up Yamamoto to come into the game if it went to the 19th inning, just 2 days after a complete game in game number 2 of the World Series. Just a historic game last night. And then there's Ohtani, who reaches base 9 times. 9 times. He was 4 for 4. He walked, and then he was intentionally walked 4 times. You're never going to see that ever again.
There was 7 hours of baseball. He came up his turn like everybody else, like the other 18 or I guess 16 position players, and he did not get out. He was not retired during the 7-hour baseball session that occurred last night. I think the conversation starts with him. I think he was the biggest story. He hit 2 home runs. He now has 3 in the series. Especially what you combine with the end of the NLCS. I mean, I'm a Jordan guy. I'm an NBA guy. I like playoffs as the exclamation point for why someone is the greatest. But it's such a small sample size in baseball. Ohtani's played 1,000 games. Am I really going to say his OPS over 25 playoff games in 10 years really tells you how good he is? But to be as great as he is in multiple facets throughout the regular season, to already have a World Series under his belt, and it looks like 2, doing stuff that we've never seen before, it's Ruthian. It's really something that you will tell your kids about.
Yeah, 2 home runs last night, 4 for 4, and just crucial moments of the game, too. So his solo home run in the third made it a 2-0 Dodgers lead. His double in the 5th inning made it from a 4-3 game from a 4-2 game to a 4-3 game, and then the home run in the 7th to tie the game at 5, and then intentionally walked 4 straight times in extra innings. It's just one of the greatest performances we've ever seen. Ohtani is now shot up the odds boards up on FanDuel right now. He is a minus 280 favorite to be the World Series MVP. And how important was the win last night? Well, in a best-of-7 World Series, the winner of Game 3, when the series is tied at a game apiece, has gone on to win the series 70% of the time. So an all-important Game 3 last night. And, oh, by the way, Ohtani's on the mound tonight when these two teams will be back at it again. I can't imagine that there's going to be like batting practice before the game. Like 7 hours of baseball last night. They brought fruit out to the dugout. They were talking about it on the broadcast. Pineapple.
Like the vendors, like, hey, you're stuck in line at the border.
Yeah, they brought fruit out for the players, pineapple and watermelon. And it was just an unbelievable, one of the greatest World Series games that we're ever going to see. And it wasn't just about how deep it went and how great the pitchers were, but also, Mackenzie, I think the extra inning moments last night kind of took away from what was already an incredibly, incredible game based off the defensive plays that we saw throughout the course of the game, where we had players thrown out at home. We had players thrown out with great relay throws, with great pickoff throws. You know, there was that one, the one play in the, what was it, the 6th inning, where it was like a play in the shortstop hole, and it was like one of those Jeter jump throws or whatever, and Jimenez threw it to first, and Vladdy came off the bag to make a sick pick on the throw and then fired it to third to get the runner going to third out. Like, just there was so much great baseball that was played last night, and it wasn't all about the game going 18 innings.
There was 2 great games, literally. There was enough for 2 instant classics on ESPN Classic.
Yeah, we had 2 games last night. I mean, oh, my goodness, what a performance! So the Dodgers get the win, 6-5. The odds
and Canada gets to lose. Like, it's most people don't root for the Dodgers, but it's a great American story when the one team that guys with cowboy hats, guys in New York, guys from the Purple Mountain Majesty are like, yeah, all right, pretty cool. Go Ohtani.
The real losers, Mackenzie, last night are people that live on the East Coast.
Right.
Because the game, it was almost 3:00 in the morning when that game ended. So another
in
win.
Japan, it's like Thursday.
Yeah,
they're watching. They're happy.
they're totally fine. They're totally fine. Dodgers now minus 500 to win the series. Now I told you the math before that teams that win Game 3 in a series that is tied at 1 game apiece in the World Series have gone on to win 70% of the time. I would also I would take that 70%. I'd give a little bit of a boost because it's the Dodgers, the favorite that we already had before the series. What do you think of the odds being minus 500 right now up on FanDuel?
When you told me, I had not known those odds. When you told me Ohtani was a minus 260 favorite to win the MVP, I'm like, oh, because if the Dodgers win, then he wins. So it's maybe they're minus 330. Surprised to hear that they're saying it's pretty much 50-50. Him or some other Dodger would win it. And I'm surprised that it's 80%, not 85% that they think that the Dodgers are going to win it. I mean, isn't it I guess they have a home field advantage now. They stole it because they're up 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pretty on a razor's edge. I mean, this is poised to go the distance, it feels like.
Yeah, so for those wondering, a minus 500 money line is an implied probability of 83.33%. So, like I said,
actually, I get annoyed when I hear that because sometimes you'll do the math and you'll be like, all right, so there's a 105% chance that someone's going to win this bet. 83% breaks even. But you're probably not going to break even. So there's probably a little bit less than 83% if it's a minus 500.
Okay, very fair, very fair. So, I mean, I gave you the numbers. I gave you the 70% history. The fact that it's Ohtani on the mound now. The fact that, you look at this game here tonight and you see...
They're defending champions.
Exactly.
I mean, it's got to be the public side.
And you see it's Bieber against Ohtani. And with the usage from the bullpen, you would think that the Dodgers actually have a slight advantage when it comes to the game tonight because, the Dodgers... They used all of their relievers. Like, they didn't have any pitchers last night. But it was Will Klein went 4 innings. Like, Emmett Sheehan went 2 2/3. Everybody else was in for just an inning or not even. Blake Trinan got a third of an inning. Dreyer went a third of an inning. Kershaw went a third of an inning. And Robleski went an inning and 2/3. So, like, Sasaki went an inning and 2/3. So, like, they actually have, some guys to use, whereas, Eric Lauer went 4 2/3. Hoffman went 2 innings, right? Louis Varland, an inning and a third. Dominguez with an inning. Like, do you even trust Sir Anthony Dominguez anymore in this spot? And then Little, as wild as he was earlier in the postseason, he winds up taking the loss in this game. I think the Dodgers are going to win this series. I said it. I've said it's minus a game and a half. I still think it's minus a game and a half. I think this series ends in 5. I think the Dodgers win tonight with Ohtani on the mound, and then I think they win tomorrow, and this series is over. And it's a great, hard-fought series for Toronto. that will wind up being a 4-1 series win by the Dodgers.
Do you think Ohtani's more likely? Like, what do you think Ohtani's expectation is here? Like, did he get extra tired compared to other players? I mean, he went to bat 9 times.
Yeah, but all he had to do was just walk.
Everybody else did too.
But all he had to do was walk to first.
Most of the time, yes.
Yeah.
Like the latter 3 hours of the ball game, you're right about that.
I will say that I am curious to see how he is affected because we know that starting pitchers are creatures of habit. So
he's a different animal.
Exactly. He's a different animal. I actually think that the pitcher that might actually be affected could be Shane Bieber because he was stretching in the bullpen last night.
He's trying to be a good teammate. Like, good job, guys.
Like he was
really. Can we wrap it up?
He was stretching in the bullpen last night. Now I know Smoltz was saying that it's not going to affect him tomorrow unless he actually gets up and starts throwing and gets warm. But I just think like I said, pitchers are such creatures of habit. Like the fact that he was sitting in the bullpen, mentally preparing that maybe he's going to come into the game. I just don't know how that affects him here now, going to sleep and then waking up and then going to the ballpark. But these guys are pros. They should be able to handle it. We're seeing a total of 8 tonight. I would lean towards the under. I know some people are like, well, maybe go over because of all the bullpen pitchers that were used last night. I think this could be a sleepy start for these teams. No batting practice before the game, right? This is going to be a quick turnaround. Get to the hotel. I mean, what time do you think they're getting to bed tonight? 3:00 in the morning, right?
They got to be hungry.
That's what I'm saying.
They got to eat and digest.
So shower, grab a meal, do whatever you got to do. Get back to the hotel probably 1:30, 2:00 in the morning. It's LA traffic. I mean, people aren't even getting out of that stadium right now for another 2 hours after the game. So I'd say you'd probably go to bed at 3. You're up at 10. Like I said, no batting practice. Get back to the ballpark, and then who knows? But I would lean towards the under tonight. And Dodgers are minus 196 on the money line. It's a heavy price to lay. But
I feel like we might see something special from Ohtani. I lean towards the under too. I could see him going 7, like a 1-hit 7-inning type thing.
Yeah, and I might do Dodgers first 5, maybe minus a half a run. Could be the way to go here in this one. I just think that it's going to be one of those spots where, Ohtani could pitch a gem here tonight. So I am on the Dodgers here. In World Series game number 4, what a classic that we saw last night. By the way, if it goes extra innings again tonight, I mean, my goodness, what an unbelievable World Series. And as I mentioned, Ohtani has shot up the odds to be the MVP right now. He is minus 280 up on FanDuel. Well, also last night, Mackenzie, we had a football game. That's right. You remember that? There was we could have had a Monday Night Football doubleheader, and then we still could have watched the end of the World Series game and been waiting and waiting for that game to end. But
Patrick Mahomes could have gotten out of his limo, gone to take a flight to LA, and pitched the last inning of that game.
Maybe private jet.
It's a very fast jet, baby.
Yeah. Chiefs beat the Commanders 28-7 last night. We did cash our standalone prop with Isaiah Pacheco over 11.5 carries. He had 12 carries in the game last night, so cash that. But the Commanders don't cover. The game doesn't go over, so the same game parlay was dead to rights. Travis Kelce had a big night, a vintage night for Travis Kelce with 99 yards and a touchdown. Marcus Mariota, 2 interceptions, and I know Mahomes threw the 2 interceptions as well, but it felt like the Mahomes interceptions were not really his fault, bouncing off the receiver's hands.
The first Mariota, I mean, this could be a different game. I know it's a 21-point game. Mm-hmm. Didn't cover the 12.5 or whatever we got last week. But the first few possessions off of both of Deebo Samuel's hands on a screen pass.
Yeah.
He's really fallen off. 6 targets, 3 catches. Man, it was pretty promising for him in Washington early. Not so lately. And then 2 fourth-down conversions that didn't go. The Commanders got the ball in Chiefs within the 40-yard line 4 straight times to start the game, had 0 points. Even though it was tied at half, it felt like we had blown our chance to cover.
That's a tremendous point because, the 2 possessions that were empty possessions that resulted in unsuccessful fourth-down conversions, that changes the entire game. I mean, if you look at
You're expecting 12, 14 points out of those possessions.
Yeah, if you looked at the EPA numbers last night, just during the course of the game or the points per drive expected, That's it completely changed, and it could have been a different game as you mentioned. But yes, I thought that there were times in the game last night watching it where, I mean, you saw the miscommunication on the offensive line a couple of times where Mariota is sacked, where they don't pick up, like the offensive line doesn't pick up a free runner, which is just like ridiculous. He's slamming the football on the ground. They couldn't get the running game going. Bill Krosky-Merritt, only 9 carries for 25 yards. Just it didn't feel like a Chiefs dominating performance, but it also was a Chiefs dominating performance, Mackenzie.
I mean, that's what you do, right? That's what separates great teams is that they win by 21 when they don't play great. 2 interceptions from Mahomes, uncharacteristic. Probably, I would wonder if PFF gave him any turnover-worthy plays. Because when you throw a back shoulder fade and the cornerback just happens to like be right there and catch it with one hand, not really your fault. And then another deflected pass, not your fault at all, off of Travis Kelce's hands, but that was one target. 6 other targets were caught out of his 8, 99 yards and a touchdown. They're the. I mean, do we just talk ourselves out of the Chiefs every year just for fun? Like they are the gold standard. They are always at least among the best teams, if not the very best, like they are this year.
They are the best team. It's absurd. They're the best team. Patrick Mahomes is now plus 150 favorite to be the MVP up on FanDuel. Like this team just feels like the Dodgers. They feel inevitable. And now that they're, healthy, Rashee Rice, he had 9 catches last night for 93 yards and a touchdown. He is a true wide receiver 1 now for the Kansas City Chiefs.
We got that prop right.
Yep, we got that one right. Yep. But, I mean, this was just they're good. I mean, and now it sets up the game of the year, right? The Chiefs and the Bills coming up here this week in a spot where, hey, it's a regular season game, so I guess we have to back Buffalo.
Is it just a preseason game? Is it like we don't want to show them anything because this is obviously the conference championship?
In the last 4 times these teams have played against each other in both the playoffs and the regular season, the Buffalo Bills are 4-0 straight up in ATS in the regular season. The Chiefs are 4-0 straight up in ATS in the postseason. Like that's just it's a tale as old as time. Look
at this Chiefs schedule coming up. We might sound silly saying the Chiefs are the best team, or it might just be like, well, of course they said that. They are at Bills, at Broncos, versus the Colts the next 3 weeks. Over under, I'm going to say they get 2 wins. I mean, the over under's got to be closer to 1.5. I'm going to say they get 3 wins. Actually, I feel like this really is the gold standard, and because they're 5-3, it's fun. They're not going to be like, all right, well we're 6-0, we'll lose this one to the Broncos. Doesn't matter. They're gonna need these wins for seeding.
It's just absurd. Like I said, since 2021, 21, 22, 23, and 24, the Bills are 4-0 straight up in ATS against the Kansas City Chiefs in the regular season. And postseason, 2020, 21, 23, and 24, 0-4 straight up in ATS against the Kansas City Chiefs. That's going to be one of the games, obviously, we'll talk about coming up this week here in the NFL, as it's the biggest game of the week. Other news around the league, Lamar Jackson is expected to be back and starting for the AFC North favorite, Baltimore Ravens, coming up on Thursday against the Miami Dolphins. Carson Wentz is done for the season as he will have season-ending shoulder surgery. So J.J. McCarthy back here for the Minnesota Vikings.
I got my Brian Windhorst fingers up in the air. So let me get this straight. J.J. McCarthy had an ankle issue, wasn't broken or anything like that, wasn't dislocated, was some sort of sprain. He can't play. They go to London, they come back, he can't play, bye week, he can't play. The second he comes back and he can play, supposedly, the guy that just coincidentally, the guy that has been playing, he can't play. The rest, come on. Can't we just say, like, I don't want to play because I was a starter and now I'm benched? Or I don't want to play this guy because he's not that good and he's a rookie. We're hoping he gets better. There's some. It's not even like underhanded. It's just blatant
why would they,
fraud.
Why would they? Why would they do that?
Why would they do that? Why would Carson Wentz suddenly not be able to play at all?
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe he actually can't play at all. But what does that say about J.J. McCarthy? That they really were like looking for every possible reason to play anybody else. Now they're saying we're going to play J.J. McCarthy.
Other injury news, the Broncos are expected to be without Pat Surtain for a couple of weeks, so that's going to affect their defense. And we'll take a look at the Broncos, and maybe it's something where you can look at the wide receiver ones that are going to be playing against the Denver Broncos now for the next couple of weeks.
Rashee Rice in 2 weeks?
Well, could start with Nico Collins if he's back this week for the Houston Texans. But if no Pat Surtain shutting down that wide receiver one, it's definitely going to impact the Denver Broncos defense. All right, Mackenzie, let's get into the NBA and the Eichel Tower.
AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
NBA last night, Mackenzie, the Thunder improved to 4-0, a 101-94 win over the Dallas Mavericks, a win by 7, but they did not cover last night. What went wrong or what went right for the Oklahoma City Thunder?
Defense went right, allowed only 94 points, and I feel like it was so similar. I mean, we lost the bet, but it was so similar to the Hawks game. It just shows you that the NBA's very dicey in the fourth quarter. They break open that 20-point lead in the second half, just like they did against the Hawks. But on the end of a road trip, and end of a 3-game road trip, undefeated, without their second best scorer in Jalen Williams, they just stopped coming up with ideas. They didn't have the force in the fourth quarter. Shea had been averaging about 40 through 3 games, a very modest 23-8 with 4 turnovers. But defensively, they had all the answers, and they could have won this game 90% of the time. One of those games where they technically didn't cover, but they more than met expectations as far as how much they handled the Mavericks' lack of guard play.
And Cooper Flagg hurt his shoulder in right early, first possession of the game, and toughed it out. He did finish 1 of 9 shooting, only 2 points and 2 rebounds, no assists in 31 minutes. Didn't play in crunch time, and after the game, they basically talked about how, well, it's his first NBA back-to-back. So didn't really handle it that well. But they're going to get tests on the shoulder.
He's still 18 years old for the next couple of months.
Yeah.
He'll be all right.
Yeah, like, let's chill out, right? Like, the kid, he's still a kid. Another triple-double for Nikola Jokic as the Nuggets beat the Timberwolves 127-114. It kind of feels like Jokic revenge season is loading.
Well, it's interesting you say that. I think he's actually biding his time. I think he's like Sauron. I think he's gaining energy, and he's seeing what can my team do. First night of the season, overtime, not a great game from him, 21 points, but he does get that triple-double, 23 shot attempts, most of them forced in the second half. I really felt like watching the game that he did not want to shoot more than he had to, but, overtime game, someone's got to shoot. So 23 shot attempts, 8 in the next game, easy win against the Suns. And he played 36 minutes against the Timberwolves. It was close throughout. Timberwolves had a 7-point lead in the first half to end the first half. 10 shot attempts. He goes 9 for 10. Chamberlain-esque. Not when Chamberlain was at his peak, but when Chamberlain was trying to goose his stats and would do this type of thing. But Jokic is doing it in a real game against a real competition. Even though Anthony Edwards wasn't there, I think he's a little bit overrated by the line. So I definitely lean to the Timberwolves here. And it looked like a good idea the first half, like I said. But the Nuggets again, churning, looking like the tier 1 team that we expected coming into the season.
I mean, 3 games so far, 3 triple-doubles for Nikola Jokic.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. I guess he's averaging a triple-double for the season, huh? Let's talk about the schedule for tonight, and we'll talk about the Peacock doubleheader or the NBC doubleheader. First game is the Knicks against the Bucks, where the Knicks are a 1.5-point road favorite, total of 228. Any play in this game?
We're at Milwaukee. I don't have a play in this game. I want to favor the Knicks, but the Bucks have surprised me so far this season, covering all 3 of their first games.
All right, and the second game of the NBC doubleheader is the Clippers, a 1-point favorite right now up on FanDuel at the Golden State Warriors, total of 224.5. Do you have a play in this one?
Yeah, I am going to fade the Warriors again at home. I do not believe in the new Oracle, whatever it's called, Chase Center.
Yeah.
I thought the Nuggets really handled them. They really could have won the game. Aaron Gordon went for 50 in the first game of the season, and Curry hit, one of those magma levels. He scores 16 points in the last 2 minutes, and they win that game. The Clippers, I think, have more bodies to throw at Curry, make it harder. They did win a really clutch game to avoid the play-in last year in San Francisco. I feel like these are even teams. If anything, I have the Clippers as a little bit better still, and I don't think home court matters here, so I'm going to be looking at the Clippers.
Okay. On the ice tonight, it is a special night, Mackenzie. It is the Frozen Frenzy. That's right. All 32 teams are in action tonight. The games are spread out, so you have plenty of opportunities to watch all of your teams play. The action gets started early at 6 o'clock Eastern time tonight, and with the late game starting at 11 o'clock Eastern time tonight in San Jose, the Kings and the Sharks. So Frozen Frenzy tonight, and it is also day or game number 2 of our Eichel Tower. That is the Jack Eichel shots on goal ladder that we are doing our $10 to $10K ladder challenge. And we are betting Jack Eichel to go over his shots on goal prop for 10 straight games, assuming that he hits every game, right? I wanted to wait until he went under before we actually started this, and he did go under on Saturday. We jumped in and started the Eichel Tower on Sunday. He went over 2.5 shots on goal, and that is what we are playing tonight once again up on FanDuel right now. It is actually not that much juice. It's minus 140 for Eichel, 3+ shots on goal. So the Eichel Tower, game number 2 tonight when the Vegas Golden Knights take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Jack Eichel over 2.5 shots on goal at minus 140 odds. We look to make it 2 for 2 tonight before we move on and advance, hopefully, to game number 3 of our Eichel Tower. And
now you call it the Eichel Tower, but let me lean against that edifice real quick. You're telling me if you win 8 in a row, you're going to be laying minus 160? I mean, like, all right. Hope I don't lose $5,000 with this one. You're calling it Eichel Tower. I'm calling it. I am questioning it. I'm not going to call it anything.
Well,
it seems aggressive.
Well, there might be some times where during the Eichel Tower where we're going to take the plus money. We're going to take the plus money on the over 3.5.
Okay. All right.
So instead of going with the minus 170 or minus 180 on an over 2.5, maybe we'll take the plus 120 on the over 3.5 or whatever it's priced at.
Are you doing a mechanical parlay though? Are you taking all your winnings every time?
Yes.
All right.
We started.
You're gonna get pricey when you win 6 in a row.
Well, we started with the $18 to win $10 on game number 1, right? And so we are now up $10. So now now we are taking that $10 and rolling it over now we're at $28, excuse me. So I guess technically it's not a 10 to 10K. I guess we started with $18. So now we're at
18 to 10K. It's pretty impressive.
We're at 18 to 10K. That's what we're doing. So now we're doing the $28 bet on the game for tonight. So $28 on Jack Eichel to have 3+ shots on goal. It's at minus 140. So I guess $28 is going to win $20. So there's our bet for tonight in game number 2. Actually increased odds. So maybe I'm moving the market here, but it's at minus 144 now up on DraftKings. So you got to up on FanDuel. So you got to get these bets in early because we're moving markets here on the Eichel Tower, Mackenzie. I promise you, later on today, this will be well beyond minus 150.
That's why you listen early. That's why you bet early.
Yes.
Get ahead of the market.
Yes. Also, some fun games tonight on this Frozen Frenzy. The Colorado Rockies take on the Colorado Avalanche. Yes, that's right. The New Jersey Devils take on the Colorado Avalanche. Long, long time ago, Mackenzie. Did you know the New Jersey Devils used to be the Colorado Rockies? Little hockey trivia for you. That is right.
And they would play baseball on the ice? How'd that work?
No, the Colorado Rockies hockey team moved to New Jersey to
And they
become
played in Wrigley Field, and they would take the A train all the way up
to
Coney
become
Island.
to become the New Jersey Devils. So it is
Who knew? I did not know that.
Colorado history here tonight. Other games of note: the Mammoth are at the Oilers. So Utah's been very good to us. They are 8-2 on the year so far. They just keep cashing for us. Capitals are at the Stars. Dallas a -140 home favorite there. Islanders are at the Bruins. Little East Coast matchup. Our Ducks traveling cross country take on the Panthers in Florida. How about that? Flames and Maple Leafs in an all-Canadian affair. That should be fun to watch tonight as well. So Frozen Frenzy, all 32 teams in action tonight on the ice. That'll do it for this episode of the Better Day podcast. Make sure you are subscribed to the podcast feed and subscribe to the website. The Trench Report comes out tomorrow, so we will get to that on tomorrow's pod. We'll talk about the results of the Trench Report. Let's see if we can keep riding the hot streak when it comes to the running back player props in the top mismatches, in the running mismatches for the player props for the Trench Report, and also the top 5 overall mismatches as well. Take a look at what advantages we can play in the market in what could be continuing the chalk, but it was a extremely chalky week number 8 in the NFL, and we'll see if that carries over to week number 9. For Mackenzie Rivers, I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's hoping you make today and every day a better day.
AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.